Is the Sony a6400 still worth it in 2025? If you're trying to decide if this mirrorless camera is right for you, this video will make that decision a lot easier. Don't go away. Hi, I'm Barry from Photographer's Freedom. I simplify DSLR and mirrorless photography, helping you gain the freedom to capture nature with ease. The main focus of this video will be to give you my opinion of the Sony a6400. I will talk about some of its features, tell you what I use it for, and show you examples of photos and videos I've captured with it. I hope that after watching this you will have a clearer understanding of whether the Sony a6400 is right for you. The Sony a6400 was released in 2019. It has a 24.2 megapixel APS-C sensor. Let's just call it 24 megapixels. It can shoot still images in RAW or JPEG image quality up to 6000 by 4000 pixels. It's a crop sensor camera, not a full frame camera. It shoots 4K video at 30 frames per second and 1080 up to 120 frames per second. The ISO sensitivity ranges between 132,000 expandable to 102,400. It has 425 focus points and human and animal eye AF. On the back, it sports a 2.95-inch LCD touchscreen that can be tilted upward approximately 180 degrees and downward approximately 74 degrees. All of this and so much more packed into a body that weighs just 403 grams or 14.3 ounces. I bought my a6400 back in 2021. At the time I was filming YouTube videos using my Samsung Galaxy S20 Ultra. It does a pretty good job of filming video, I'm filming on it right now, but I wanted something better. At the time, the a6400 had one of the best, if not the best, autofocus systems on the planet. It was raved about in many YouTube videos, which I spent hours consuming while making my purchase decision. The autofocus system in the a6400 is amazing, and we'll get to that in a minute. Though I primarily purchased it to film YouTube videos, it's a great camera for so many other things. Let's take a look at what I've been able to do with it. My primary use for the a6400 is filming videos for my YouTube channel. I purchased the camera in a kit with the 16 to 50mm f3.5 to 5.6 PZ lens that's on it now. This lens performs well, it produces a nice picture and has OSS, which is advantageous as the a6400 does not have in-body image stabilization. My purchase decision was swayed by the amazing autofocus system. With the face eye detection on, it will keep me in focus no matter where I am in the frame. You can also control the speed of the autofocus drive system to make it behave the way you want it to. This makes the a6400 a perfect camera for solo YouTubers like me. Getting yourself in focus is one of the hardest things about filming yourself. In addition, the a6400 has a lot of picture profile settings. These allow you to adjust certain parameters to change the look of your footage. I shoot with HLG2 as it gives me a slightly wider dynamic range and it has a great natural look once I've edited it. I love how the LCD screen flips up to face the front of the camera. This is perfect for vlogging and makes setting up your shots so much easier. I recently purchased the Sigma 16mm f1.4 contemporary lens. This lens has allowed me to capture more light and get blurrier backgrounds due to its f1.4 aperture. The a6400 is a crop sensor camera. It will not capture as much light as a full frame camera would. Pairing it with wider aperture or faster lenses is a good idea. The second reason I purchased this camera was to improve my bird photography. At the time, I was using a Nikon D5200 and 70 to 300mm lens. The slow autofocus of that gear meant that I was missing a lot of great shots. I paired the a6400 with the Sony FE f5.6 to 6.3 200 to 600mm G OSS lens that you see on the shelf behind me there. This elevated my bird photography beyond my wildest dreams. It's not a very fast lens, so it still struggles in low light, but I've been able to capture some amazing shots. The incredible autofocus system in the a6400 has no trouble tracking birds as they move through the frame. I end up with more shots I want to keep. This does put a smile on my face, but it means I'm buying a lot more hard drives to store all the photos. There are links to all the lenses I'm mentioning and the a6400, of course, in the description of this video. They are affiliate links, meaning I may receive a commission if you make a purchase, but what a great way for you to say thank you to me for all the hard work I put into bringing you this free video. When I first got my a6400, I mainly did landscape photography. The 16 to 50mm was the only lens I had, but its wide angle field of view is perfect for landscapes. As this is a 1.5x crop sensor, this lens produces the field of view of a 24 to 75mm lens on this camera. It's also very light, so you can easily carry this body and lens combination over the long distances required to reach those jaw-dropping landscape photography locations. This camera and lens produces a very nice landscape photo. You can see the details are nice and sharp, the color is beautiful, and even though it's a crop sensor with a slower lens, it does well in low light situations like underneath this thick forest canopy. That shot was taken handheld too, at 1/20th of a second if I remember correctly. That shows you how well the OSS in this lens works. Something I progressed into with the a6400 and the 200 to 600mm lens is filming birds. I find this camera and lens combination fantastic for producing amazing bird footage. The autofocus is brilliant. It will track a bird across the frame if I need it to. I also have the option of touch focus on the LCD screen. I can tap exactly where I want the camera to focus. If I'm using manual focus, as I often do with birds, the a6400 has the zoom to focus function. This enlarges the view through the viewfinder and/or on the LCD screen, so I can dial in my focus just where I need it. I am disappointed the a6400 doesn't shoot 4K at 120 frames per second, especially for birds. However, it does shoot 120 frames per second at 1080, and it's easy to upscale the HD footage to 4K in DaVinci Resolve or other software. According to Sony, the a6400 will shoot approximately 410 shots when using the LCD screen and approximately 360 through the viewfinder. It will stay charged for between 70 and 125 minutes of video shooting, depending on the type of shooting you're doing. These ratings are with a fully charged battery. I found that I was running out of battery frequently when shooting bird photography and filming bird videos. If you get an a6400, buy extra batteries. I have 4 batteries now, and with those, I can shoot and film all day long. Yes, this is still a fantastic camera in 2025. I'm never frustrated with it, and I love the quality of the images and the footage that it produces. The Sony menu system is a steep learning curve. If you are coming from another brand of camera, you will find it confusing. There are plenty of YouTube videos that can show you how to use the menu system, so don't despair. I've linked one of my favorites in the description of this video. As I've mentioned many times throughout the video, the autofocus system is incredible. It still blows my mind. The only 2 things that disappoint me about this camera are the lack of 120 frames per second footage at 4K and the lack of in-body image stabilization. However, both of these can be worked around. Footage can be upscaled, and if you need the stabilization, buy lenses that have it, use a tripod or gimbal, or you can apply stabilization in your editing software. You can pick up an a6400 body for around 1,000 Australian dollars, or with lenses for around 1,500 Australian dollars. There are links in the video description to various deals on Amazon and other retailers. Before you get your a6400, watch this video. It has some inventive ways for holding your camera that you will not have seen before. You can use them to get some great shots with your new camera. Until next time, I'm Barry from Photographer's Freedom. Get out there, take some wicked shots. I'll see you soon.